So, what have the studios been cooking up? It's been 3 months since Sumito announced that the Mineplex studio has entered alpha, and the following studios, Plexverse, Smash Reborn, Clans, and a few more, have been given access to begin early. If you don't already know, Plexverse is creating Micro Battles, Skywars, and 2 more unknown games, and Smash Reborn obviously is doing Super Smash Mobs. As I said, it's been 3 months, so there has to have been progress from these studios, which is true. If you don't know, Plexverse posts updates on their game modes, providing gameplay videos for Micro Battles and Skywars, so they've been pretty transparent with us. On January 6th, the Clans team did a kit PvP test where it had well over 50 players trying out what new skills and abilities that have been brought to the table. First, we're going to dive into a game that we don't have too much information about, and that's about to change. I've been given the privilege to provide SSM gameplay to you guys, and I would bring a developer on for an interview, but due to circumstances, I will relay a message for them. So SSM, they have completely rewritten and optimized physics, completely rewritten and custom collision detection systems, projectiles using a unified system with each projectile or NC having a logic run uniquely for that specific instance. For example, a roped arrow will only do roped arrow things, or a fireball will only do fireball things. No shady vanilla business running in the background modifying Unity. And full control over the physics, velocity, collisions, hitbox size, and speed, and virtually all mechanics. And same old familiar abilities, new fresh coat of paint, sounds, effects, and tweaked mechanics. So it's safe to say SSM will be something even better than what former SSM on Mineplex would bring. If you guys don't know already, Smash Reborn actually has a 1.8 server that you can play on right now. It's not gonna be like exact stuff that's on there. It's gonna be there. They're obviously rewriting everything. They're redoing everything for 1.20 because I'm sure they're gonna be adding brand new kits too. They're gonna be adding different mobs because there's so many mobs in 1.20 now, so you can add so many new stuff. Like obviously you don't want to fill the entire game with like 10 million classes, but still, like, you can put a lot of unique mobs and with unique abilities with the brand new stuff. But yeah, the gameplay you see right now is not full SSM gameplay. It's actually SSM training gameplay. Yep, they're gonna bring back the training system. If you guys don't remember, in 2017, Mineplex added SSM training mode, and it was pretty much a big giant map. You just drop in. It's like an FFA SSM, but you can play around with the kits and see, like, pretty much just test abilities and practice. Trying out the new SSM Reborn on 1.20, I actually think it's like really cool. I think even though they don't have that many classes right now, they're still working on adding more kits. I think it's still like, it genuinely feels like SSM. I don't think the game has gone in a worse direction. I think the game's gone in a fine direction, and I think like probably the most fun kit I played was Spider and Skeleton, mainly because I love the Spider double jump, and Skeleton because the bow, and you can also just double jump and bow. You know me, I play Wooden Quiver, so it's like the same thing. Skeleton, Zombie, those kits are like Wooden Quiver kits essentially. Thank you to the Reborn team for letting me and my friends hop on the Reborn server to record a few games and showcase what you guys have been up to. The game's fun. We'll see. They're obviously going to be adding more kits, like I said, and we'll see, because I think the game has really good potential to be genuinely fun. The aesthetics too, I really like the aesthetics of the server, the scoreboard, and the chat messages. I think it's really nice. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to say about SSM. Now we're moving on to Plexverse. If you guys don't know, Plexverse actually started out as a little like Mineplex 2.0 as soon as Mineplex shut down, because people are like, oh, Mineplex shut down so abruptly, right? Unfair to the community, and that's how they emerged and existed. But then Mineplex came back and they were forced to shut down because they're back and they're a Mineplex partner now, and Plexverse will be on the official Mineplex server as a studio now. They've actually been doing Micro Battles and Skywars. As you can see right now, we're playing Micro Battles, and I'll show you guys some Skywars gameplay too. But the games genuinely have been pretty fun. As you can see, like, the one complaint I have is the hitboxes. Like, might not be the biggest issue ever, but on 1.8, your hitbox expanded by 0.1. Able to get other type of hits in combat, but in 1.20 that doesn't exist, so it's a little harder their face to hit them. But yeah, other than that, I think the feel of Plexverse is pretty nice. It's pretty fun. It's not as like sweaty as you would think, and I think they'll probably bring Skywars, Micro Battles, and whatever game modes they'd want to do in the future in a positive and good direction. See, they already started like doing different maps with different of the brand new blocks in 1.20, like the cherry wood blocks and the crystal blocks. They're pretty cool, interesting maps. They're pretty fun maps, and I think it'll go well in the long run. One thing, unfortunately, that I will say is that 1.8 combat cannot be perfectly replicated on 1.20. I know I made a video like, oh, it's possible. The more I've been working with it with my friend has been coding R1 Quiver game, and he's been telling me a bunch of stuff about how the combat is and what can change, what can't be changed. And the more I hear, the more I realize it's not as possible as I think it is. It's possible to an extent, but it's not going to be the same feel as it used to be with 1.8. It's the only drawback. I think, like, you know, if Plexverse really wanted to, they could add the hitboxes. You know, they want the combat, I think, to be identical with the other studios that are doing 1.8 combat too. Or who knows, maybe some games, like, I know not all games they'll do will be 1.8 combat. A lot of games will be, few games will be 1.9 combat too. They're not gonna, you know, strictly be only 1.8. Lastly, clans. The gameplay and everything you see of clans right now is actually not going to be how clans work. You guys already know. Clans is a custom factions game. It's pretty much factions, but with a texture pack and, like, Mineplex champion kits, you know? But yeah, as you can see, I'm showing off a few legendaries. I think these legendaries already existed on a Mineplex, but, you know, we have a bunch of them. One lets you, like, speed through in water. Another one lets you speed on the ground. The other one lets you regen health, like, by just holding it down. The Hyper Axe also deals extra damage too. They're pretty cool legendaries, and then my favorite one is the Windblade. The Windblade gives you the ability to fly, which I think is pretty fun. But yeah, they also added the Warlock class. That's a brand new class with the new Netherite set. It's pretty much a Brute 2.0, I'd say, from my, like, experience. It's Brute 2.0, but with other, it's not as OP as Netherite armor is in vanilla, because, you know, Netherite armor is a lot crazy OP on vanilla. They're basically unkillable, but the damage values towards Netherite armor has been tweaked down, so it's impossible to actually kill them. But yeah, I think it's pretty smart. I love the some of the new animations they did with some of the abilities. I think it's pretty cool, and obviously the textures. You know, they're some of it, like I said, they're mostly Mineplex textures, but I think they're pretty cool. I know they said they're planning to add a bunch of more textures as well, with brand new legendaries, which is cool. Like, for now they're sticking with the Mineplex stuff, but yeah, definitely had a lot of fun, because, you know, one thing I do love is I just love playing champion classes and just 1v1ing people. Personally, I'm not really a big clans person, so that's why I enjoy just doing regular champions 1v1s, and then also just playing it in general to fight people, because the abilities are cool. I love to just play around with it and see what cool combos or whatever I can get with them. But yeah, that's about it. The studios have been progressing really well. I'm gonna put a little, like, Rcade OITQ gameplay, because, you know, that's also something that's gonna be coming too. You're seeing some of that right now as a little preview. But yeah, it's been progressing really well. There's other, like, places like Vice Studios. They have to create their MMO game, and yeah, it's gonna be quite a bit of a process. Tomato just made an announcement. Saying that they have plans that they're gonna talk about more stuff in the summertime, and that they're gonna be opening beta for the studio soon. That meaning people will be able to create new games on the studio before the Mineplex server actually releases. But yeah, that's really it for now. I'll let you guys know if there's any big updates in another video. Peace.